Before we get the show started today, I have the biggest announcement in Triviality history.
We are packing it up and quitting.
No, Neil, I think you got the wrong note.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that note is for the future indeterminate date. Sorry.
No, we are, after 5 years, partnering with a podcast network. We are going to be joining Airwave Media. It's the same great channel that brings you Good Job Brain.
Which you're familiar with, I'm sure.
And we couldn't be happier about this partnership. Now, we've chosen to do this now. We think it makes the most sense. We are at a point, thanks to all of you, to transition this into potentially a full-time career. And we really want to work hard on that career path. We think it's a great opportunity for us to bring you better content, more content that you will hopefully love and enjoy.
We did a survey not too long ago, and we had such wonderful encouragement from all of you saying if we could find an advertising partner or some way to help further this show and our careers doing this show, that we should do it. And we took all that advice and that encouragement, and we're so excited to be here because it's going to allow us to do so many new things, experiment with video, hopefully maybe do some extra episodes on the main feed, maybe some extra bonus episodes, and even more importantly, a chance to meet all of you in person by maybe doing some live events in different cities that we know we can come and meet and play some trivia.
So our main episodes are going to be ad-supported. That's going to be the only real change coming to Triviality. Our patrons are in for a special treat. At any level, if you support us on Patreon, you will get the episodes completely ad-free.
Yep, and that's from as little as $1 a month all the way up to $100 a month. You'll be getting all of the main feed episodes with no ads. It's a promise we've had for the last 5 years. We don't want to have any ads on our show, and while we're going to be putting these on the main feed now through Airwave, we just wanted to absolutely make sure that there was a version of every episode with no ads for anyone who would like it.
Now, if you can't support us on Patreon, we completely understand.
Yes.
We know that is not always possible. So we're going to still do regular episodes weekly.
Mm-hmm.
They're just going to be ad-supported. So we still want everyone who wants to listen to the show able to hear it. We want to make sure that the content that you've grown used to is still something that you can rely on week to week. Patrons, like I said, we're going to be adding the ad-free episodes, but we're also looking to expand our Patreon perks. Patreon's still going to be a big part of our success at this show. It's going to account for a lot of the ability for us to maybe grow this as a career path, and we think that that's going to be very important for us. So we really appreciate everything our patrons have done for us so far, and like I said, we really couldn't have gotten to this point. Never thought we would.
And the only thing, as Jeff said, that's going to change is just the main feed episodes are going to have some ads now, and all those ads are going to be curated by us, making sure that the partners that we put on the podcast are ones that we think represent our listeners, our community, to the best of our ability to get them on the show. And we welcome your feedback if you want to try those products, but we're going to do our best to make sure that the show stays the same and has the exact same lack of seriousness and little bit of knowledge, just like today's episode title, Ranch for Blood. So it is our goal to make sure that the show stays exactly the same, and it's going to be released every week. That's not going to change. You're still getting the exact same number of episodes. You don't have to go to another feed to get the episodes. It's all going to be exactly the same, just a few more ads with the ad-free on Patreon.
And we really appreciate the support. Truly, it means the world to us, and we want to make sure that we do our best to maintain the awesome community that you guys are. And I think that's why it's taken us so long, and we want to be so conscientious about this decision. So we hope that you'll be as excited as we are, and we're hopeful that this will bring us into a new era of success. So here's to 5 more years of whatever this show is.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neil, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neil. I'm here in the studio with Ken and Jeff, but we're missing someone once again. Matt is not here.
Matt's not in the studio. It's very lonely on my side of the table.
It is. There's a draft over there. I'm sure you're chilly.
Always.
They're in spirit, though.
Oh, the ghost of Matt.
Just because we run the air conditioning before we start the show, because we can't run it during the show. That's why Ken's chilly.
It's a sweat lodge.
It is.
That's why I left. I couldn't take it anymore.
And this is a new and improved, Matt. No delay, too, which is crazy.
Because I switched to Comcast, not like that garbage AT&T.
Whoa.
And
Matt, where are you coming to us from now? Where are you haunting us from?
From Washington, D.C., I have a new boss, Mr. Biden. I'm working in the cabinet of cream. I don't know where I'm going with that.
You're what do they call the helpers in Congress? What are those called? Not pages.
Interns?
I guess interns.
Oh.
Yeah, you're an intern.
Pages.
A page.
I'm a page at the White House.
Your sword, Mr. President.
Are pages they like work behind the scenes at like TV studios?
I think a page is at like SNL and 30
NBC,
Rock. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we got some other great guests in the studio.
We have
Or
some
not
other
in the studio, but they're
Right.
ghosts.
Yeah,
right?
we have some other pages here, Triviality pages. Our first guest is going to be a competitor today, a Rules Guy Impersonator on Patreon, which we appreciate. We're excited to have him here from St. Pete, Florida. John Valenzuela. How are you, John?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing well. We've been trying to get you on the show for a while. We're so excited to have you here. Tell us a little bit about yourself and, maybe how you found the show and what you've been up to.
Well, so right now I work in the service industry. I'm a server at this kind of like fancy daytime spot in downtown Tampa. I've done a lot of different things though throughout the years. I went to college I majored in microbiology and minored in Spanish. So I've done a bunch of different things since I was out of school. I was working in a lab for a little while when I first found your guys' podcast. I worked in this like genetics lab in Seattle while I was living there for a little while. And I had a lot of downtime where I was basically like pushing flies around under a microscope. And it was sort of tedious work where I had to sort flies and I listened to a lot of different podcasts at the time. And eventually I was thinking like, well, I think it'd be fun to listen to Trivia Live because I wasn't going out to pub trivia or anything at the time, and I just stumbled upon you guys.
Well, I just hope that our nonsense didn't like rattle your brain while you're trying to sort the flies or count the flies or anything like that.
So hopefully later you'll be able to tell us the process of drilling into the flies that are encapsulated in sap and then getting the DNA out. And morphing it. Yeah.
Dino DNA.
Yeah, my last name is actually Attenborough. I didn't know if you guys. Sorry, you said Valenzuela, but.
Well, we spared no expense to get you here today, so thank you for joining us, John.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And our game today is sort of a saving grace. We had some last minute moving around with our schedule, and we were in need of a host, and someone came to the rescue. A savior. Oakland 5 supporter on Patreon. Always nice to have her here. Ann Herndon, how are you?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here and happy to help.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Very
What's new in your world other than the door behind you that looks broken, you said?
Oh, yeah. I have a million broken doors in my home, and I am enjoying being a homeowner and fixing everything. I still working for a hospital and now working remotely and loving that very much. Still having 2 crazy kids, an amazing partner, and 2 very insane cats.
Lovely.
Sounds like a full house.
Yeah. Well, we need some teams to play Ann's impromptu game here. So what are we going to do? Me and Jeff are teaming up, right?
I think so.
Yeah, any idea on a team
and
name?
then Matt and John, correct?
That's right.
So you guys had a team name first, so why don't you spill it?
Well, I don't know the whole story. John, you have a semi-famous relative, right?
That's right. Yeah. So my cousin Joe Kelly, he plays in the MLB. He's a relieving pitcher. He came up and started as a starting pitcher, but has been a reliever for years and years. He actually yesterday was his 10-year anniversary in the MLB of his debut. So he has 2 World Series rings, and we figured 2 rings to rule them all would be a appropriate.
In honor of Neil's love of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Correct.
Since that series probably just came out, right? A couple weeks ago when this is airing, but in the future, 1 week for us, we'll be hobbits. How about that? But you have to say it like that in the grumpy Gandalf voice.
Hobbits.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Why did that turn to Sean Connery?
Hobbits.
It always does.
Okay.
Old British men always become Sean Connery in the studio, despite the fact that he's Scottish.
There's nothing that tastes
Britain.
better than hobbits. He just eats hobbits.
Okay,
Okay, cool. So, so we have hobbits versus 2 rings to rule them all. Let's go to the rules read by Benedict Cumberbatch, his stand-in.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
I am the cream.
That's pretty good.
I'm glad there's
It
no
sounded like Sean Connery too. I don't know what's going on here.
glad there's no penglings in the rules read.
And feel free to take it away. I'm just going to keep score here, or try to keep score, I should say, and we'll play. Have fun.
All right. So, question 1 in the category, a few of my favorite things. They say you write what you know, and here we are. If you know anything about me, you know that I will cry with happiness at the sight of any raccoon. What I want to know is what president had a raccoon given to him to be served as Thanksgiving dinner, only for the president to quietly decline raccoon for dinner, and later name the raccoon Rebecca, make her a domesticated pet, and then get her a boyfriend named Reuben?
I've heard this story, and I don't think it's him.
Or you take it. That was my only guess.
Reuben's really come
If
a long
somebody
way.
were to own a raccoon,
It's something weirder, like
Calvin Coolidge or something.
possibly, yeah.
From dating a
You choose.
From dating a raccoon to winning American Idol, Reuben came a long way.
All right, I'll pick an answer you guys can discuss.
I think I have heard it, and I think actually Ken just said it. I think it actually is Calvin Coolidge randomly.
I was going to agree. I think that it's definitely Calvin Coolidge.
That's insane. No, I thought it was Teddy Roosevelt. Because if anybody were to own a raccoon, but you said?
Yeah, I think I kind of remember saying this when I had Coolidge as an answer to the
That's
game I'd
insane.
recently
That's
written.
insane.
So we said Calvin Coolidge.
Why did I randomly say Calvin Coolidge? Because he's the most boring, right?
Yeah.
All right. What's the correct answer?
The correct answer is the president who quietly declined a raccoon for dinner is, in fact, Silent Cal.
Wow.
Good start.
All right.
Chaotic start.
Well, you know,
little
during
bit.
the depression he caused, you gotta
Eat some raccoon.
eat
sometime.
raccoon or something.
You turned down the raccoon.
And then he started eating
Too good
trash.
for
It's like a
raccoon.
vampire. If you eat a raccoon, then you start eating trash.
Question number 2 in the category censorship. A 1952 episode of I Love Lucy was entitled Lucy is Enceinte because what English word was censored?
Oh, I see what you wrote there, Jeff, and I like that. Let's do that.
I don't know if that was something like, because TV was
Pretty harsh.
back ass
Yeah.
words.
We'll go with that.
Okay.
Go ahead, guys.
I don't speak any French at all. I have
No,
no
me
idea on
neither.
this one.
So you're looking back into the 50s, when Lucy started. I believe that they originally had to be in separate beds. It was still in that time period. And then Lucille Ball got pregnant in real life, and I think they had to work it into the story. So I think it might be pregnant.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, it makes sense. Especially considering the time period. Yeah.
Mhm.
What do we say, Jeff?
Yeah, we too said pregnant.
All right, and French for pregnant, enceinte means pregnant. That is correct. Points to both teams.
Nice.
Can't let people know. Can't say it. Can't let the kids learn what happens.
Oh, it's
I
a
guess
stork.
I don't know.
It's a stork, Matt.
That's true.
All right, in the category of sports, I am going to provide you with some statistics of a sports figure. You tell me who claims these impressive stats. 2 gold medals, 3 Stanley Cup wins, 4-time winner of the Vezina Trophy, 1 ESPY, and a grand total of 3 goals in his career.
All right, we have selected a hockey player.
Oh, spoilers.
Yeah, you know. Come on, Matt. Come on.
So with
Good
3
choice.
goals.
Good choice.
Yeah.
It's funny. I wrote
So
down
just-
Wayne Gretzky before she even started asking the question. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's the great
totally
one.
Gretzky.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking?
Well, I mean, it's got to be a goalie since they only have 3 goals.
Yeah.
And they have all those awards. So maybe like Patrick Waugh or somebody else.
So I was torn between Patrick Waugh and Martin Brodeur, but I think Marty scored more goals than that. I think he was a prolific goal scorer from the net somehow.
I like Patrick Waugh. I'm from Colorado. You know, I grew up in the era where he was king.
Yeah, he won 1 with them, and then I think he won 2 with maybe Edmonton at the tail end of the Gretzky era. Maybe, I don't know. But I think Patrick Waugh is a good guess. So,
old Roy boy.
Yep, we'll lock in with Patty Roy.
Always good pick. We were also thinking about Carey Price. I don't remember if she said cups, but I don't think he has any. But we went with Brodeur.
All right, and Matt, you are correct. Marty Brodeur, known for scoring more goals than any other goalie in his entire career, but it is with 3. It is Marty Brodeur.
Wrong for the right reasons. That's okay.
All righty, question number 4 in the category music. What man who was convicted of money laundering and conspiracy in 2008 was the subject of the following quote by Lynn Harless? I think deep down in his heart, that's all he really wanted to be, the 6th member.
We can lock in. I just heard a thing on this guy.
Is this the guy that screwed over in Sync?
Yeah. Do you know his name?
No,
I don't. No, I don't think I can pull it.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
All right, that guy.
That guy who screwed over NSYNC and Backstreet Boys also, Lou Pearlman.
And I could hear Neil's brain screaming as soon as I said Lynn Harless. That is Lou Pearlman. So NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, O-Town, LFO. Anyone
5.
know who? Anyone know who Lynn Harless?
Terrible man.
Anyone know who Lynn Harless is?
No.
That's Justin Timberlake's real name.
It's his mom.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Number 5. Okay, so number 5 is your listener submitted question, and this question sort of comes from my 3-year-old Oakley. And so I asked Oakley what she wanted me to write a question about, and this was the response. So,
Roblox.
What animal whose bowel movements gained fame in a 2019 film thanks to a loquacious anthropomorphic snowman is the closest living relative of the koala?
All right. There's a couple clues in there I don't understand, but we're going to go with the obvious thing that we're all thinking. So,
well, John, do you know which animals make square poops?
Well, based on some of the clues, I was thinking maybe the University of Michigan mascot, the Wolverine.
Or it's possible.
But I remember seeing this, but I can't remember what animal it was.
We had a whole thing about wombats and their geometric.
Yes, let's do that. That's
bowel
much
movements.
Better.
So we're going to lock in with the wombats.
Is that an episode title right there?
It's possible.
Yeah, we said wombat. Not sure about the reference though.
So the 2019 film is Frozen 2. Your loquacious anthropomorphic snowman is Olaf, and he often asks, "Did you know wombats poop squares?"
Oh, I didn't know that part, but yes, I did.
I haven't seen that movie yet, but I don't want to now because I live in 3 dimensions, so they actually poop cubes.
You do know a lot about poop, though. After 5 questions, it looks like both teams are at 40, tied. We have 2 rings to rule them all, and hobbits.
Thank you.
40 to 40.
All right, question 6. Your category is same name. What name is shared by Eldrick Taunt, Lilium Lankifolium, and the family pet on the Brady Bunch?
I don't know.
I kind of remember the dog, but I don't remember the name.
Let's go with this one.
Okay. I like that.
That could be a person name and a dog name.
John, I think
Rex, maybe.
I think the first name is so Eldrick is the name of Tiger Woods, and Tiger is, I think, the name of some pet on some show. It might be Brady Bunch.
Good poll.
I feel good about their answer. Yeah,
we said Rex.
So Eldrick Taunt is Eldrick Taunt Woods, Tiger Woods. Lilium Lankifolium is a tiger lily, and the family pet on the Brady Bunch is Tiger.
Nice job.
Nice Matt.
Poll.
Yeah, nice poll.
I know my Tiger Woods. That's it. That's all I know about sports, apparently.
Question number 7, your category is video games. In the mid-1980s, the Nintendo Entertainment System is doing everything it can to prevent another video game crash. Any company that seeks to create a game that can be played on the NES must meet all of their demands for licensing, censorship, profit sharing, and production regulation. What Atari subsidiary, run by Mayasaka Nakamura, threw down the gauntlet and reverse engineered a lockout chip, allowing them to create games that were playable on the NES?
So this was a little bit before I was playing video games. But my main guess would be like Sega, but I don't know if they're a Atari subsidiary or not. I know that back they mostly just made like box games for arcades, but
Yeah. Well, Sega had they had a system
the
that had come out.
Dreamcast later.
Yeah, there was something before the Genesis that had come out, but I don't remember the name of it. Because of this Nintendo seal of approval thing, Konami made their own separate production called Ultra Games, which was basically just other Konami games because they were only allowed to release a certain amount. I do know that LJN made a lot of really bad games for the Nintendo, and they might be associated with Atari. They did a lot of really bad license games, which is what Atari was kind of unfortunately known for after ET ruined video games for 10 years. Are you okay going with LJN?
Yeah, you know this stuff a little better than I do, I think. So.
Very knowledgeable man on this one. We were not knowledgeable, so we just picked an electronics company and we said Motorola. Terrible guess.
So throwing down the gauntlet was one of your clues in here. This is Tengen. Basically, Nintendo was trying to prevent all of these really horrible games. Like back in the day, in the 80s, like there was just, I think like Sears had a game and like there were dog food games. It was terrible. And so Nintendo was trying to fix this, but they didn't. And ultimately, actually, Sega ended up licensing some of its games through Tengen, resulting in Sega games being able to be played on the NES.
So I was right.
All right, question number 8. This is a who am I question. I was born in a small town in West Virginia, but at 10 years old, following the death of my father, I was sent to my uncle's farm in Montana. After moving to Virginia to pursue my career aspirations, I found myself in the home of Jack Gordon, looking at a death's head moth. I've been portrayed by 2 Academy Award winners and labeled as the greatest heroine by the American Film Institute. Who am I?
All right, I'm just having a little bit of trouble remembering the last name of this character, but I think we're locked in.
I know Sissy Spacek portrayed a country singer, and she won an Academy Award for it. Like I think the movie is Coal Miner's Daughter, but I can't remember the name of the actual singer. Crap.
That might be helpful.
Is it like Patty Wilson? I don't think is right.
Patsy Cline.
I don't think it's right, but we might as well lock in because I don't think it's going to come to me. So
yeah, older country singing lady, Patsy Cline. That's what we said.
And we're going with an entirely fictional character. I said I had trouble remembering the last name, but I remembered it. We're going with Clarice Starling.
All right. So Coal Miner's Daughter is Loretta Lynn.
Yes, thank you.
Jack Gordon, also known as John Grant, James Glum, or Buffalo Bill. This is Clarice Starling. So she's played by Julianne Moore in Hannibal, who won for Still Alice.
And that was the butterfly hands, yeah. Or the moth hands,
right? Obviously,
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster won an Academy Award for playing her as well. Question number 9. We're going to stay with the Academy theme, and your category is I'd like to thank the Academy. This is a quote. I think we've become very disconnected from the natural world. We feel entitled to artificially inseminate a cow, and when she gives birth, we steal her baby, even though her cries of anguish are unmistakable. This is a quote by what vegan and Oscar winner who used the win as an opportunity to speak out against the dairy industry?
All right, we'll go ahead and lock in here. I think I know this one.
I seem to remember Leonardo DiCaprio in an acceptance speech. Definitely talking about the environment. And I'm fairly certain that he's vegan, so I think this was him, but not positive.
Who knows? That's what we locked in with them.
Okay. I think it was Joaquin Phoenix. I remember he used most of his speech for vegan purposes. So.
And Ken getting it right in 2020, accepting the award for his performance in The Joker. This is, or I guess just Joker. This is Joaquin Phoenix.
All right, let's get the last question in the first round.
All right. In the category Presidential Geography, there are 4 U.S. state capitals and 2 world capitals that are named after a U.S. president. I'd like you to give me 4 for 10 points. And if you're able to give me all 6, I'll give you an extra 5.
And we have gone ahead and locked in.
Okay, so let's go over what we have so far. Right now we have, you said Madison and Jackson, and then I said Lincoln and Washington. And then you had suggested Hamilton for Bermuda, right?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's a territory or if it's considered a world.
Yeah, so the first 4 are 4, and we were racking our brains for that 6th one, but I don't think it's going to come in a reasonable amount of time. So we are going to lock in with the first 4: Lincoln, Washington, Madison, and Jackson.
Yeah, Ken was a big help here. We actually just started going through presidents because we thought that was the easier route. So Washington, first president, he gets D.C. Figured that's a world capital. Sorry, Adams. Then we move on to Jefferson for Jefferson City, Missouri. Madison, Wisconsin. The hard one here is Monrovia, Liberia. And then we said Jackson, Mississippi, and Lincoln, Nebraska.
And I could not have done it any better than that. Jeff and Ken getting full points here. And then Matt and John for 2 rings. You guys got 4, right?
Correct.
To get 5 points or 10 points. So Bermuda is a UN recognized member state, but Hamilton,
not a president.
That's what oh yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah.
He seems so important in that show.
Is so mad.
No, he got moited before.
Aaron Boy, so
he gave up his shot.
What a shame.
After the first round, it looks like team 2 rings to rule them all is going to have 60 points going into the swing round, but with that final question picking up a full 15 points, team Hobbits is now at 75 in the lead.
Commit to the bit. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So before we go to the swing round, I just want to thank all our Patreon supporters for helping out our show, including the 2 guests we have with us today. I just wanted to say a big thank you to a listener of the show named Bryce, who came up to me. I put one of our stickers on my laptop, which is the first time I've done it in 5 years. And someone came up and said, are you involved with Triviality at all? And I introduced myself, and a very, very nice person. Hopefully we'll have them on the show. They're in the Navy right now, in the Navy band, in the brass band, musician, which is really cool, traveling all around the country, different ball games, different events like that. So thank you, Bryce, for taking the time to introduce yourself. And that's one of the things we love so much about this show, and doing it is getting to interact with all of our listeners, but also all of our
wonderful community we have,
and all our Patreon supporters. For helping us out and getting to interact with them through our crop drop every month as well, and all that extra audio content. So thank you for everyone for supporting the show. And if you'd like to join Ann and John and so many great other people, you can go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast to help us get to 500 patrons.
I will say, Neil, we recently had a question. Somebody wanted to know if you need to be a patron to be on this show, and the answer to that question is no.
That's right.
We periodically put up listings so that you can come on the show either as a guest or a guest host. We usually do that on our Facebook group, The Crop. It is open to everyone. We do prioritize people who are able to support us, but the show is open for everyone.
That's right. Yep. You don't have to be a patron. We appreciate it if you are, but you can just be any old listener who enjoys the show, and we'll love to meet you and get you on the program.
So your swing round category today is medicine. I will give you the name of a surgical procedure. You tell me what body part's being operated on, as specific as possible. There's a little bit of leeway, but as specific as possible. I will spell the majority of these, and I do have some acronyms in here that I will also spell out.
Okay, let's have it.
All right. Number 1, cholecystectomy. CHOLECYSTECTOMY. Number 2, mastopexy, MASTOPEXY. Number 3, oophorectomy, OOPHORECTOMY. Number 4, blepharoplasty, BLEPHAROPLASTY. Number 5 is an acronym TURP, TURP. Number 6, also an acronym CABG, CABG. Number 7, craniotomy, CRANIOTOMY. Number 8 is a laminectomy, LAMINECTOMY. Number 9, the only one I'm not spelling, is Tommy John surgery.
Hey,
And number 10, a Roux-en-Y, ROUX space EN space Y.
Our competitors are going to look over all of these procedures, and we'll be back with the answers. All of the answers from the swing round are now locked in, so let's go through the questions one more time with Ann, and we'll have the competitors see if they are correct.
All right. Number 1 is a cholecystectomy.
We guessed colon.
Oh, that makes sense. But John thought this might have been gallbladder, so we said gallbladder.
And this is the removal of your gallbladder.
Hey.
Nice job.
Number 2 is a mastopexy.
We said breast.
We said the same thing. Yeah, breast or chest.
And this is a breast lift. Yep, it is breast. Number 3, I think I heard some discussion and frustration over oophorectomy.
Yeah, too late we figured it out, but for our official answer, we said esophagus.
We said the tonsils.
And this is removal of your ovary. So this is ovary.
That makes sense.
Not close. Okay.
Well, not your ovary, Matt, but somebody's ovary.
Oh, got you.
Yes, it is only the title of Matt's ovarian removal. No one else's.
Very specific.
Number 4 is a blepharoplasty.
Yep, I happen to know that this is the eyelid.
I think that's right. I should have got that one. My dad was an ophthalmologist, actually, but we said hip replacement.
Made famous by Kenny Rogers. This is your eyelids. Number 5, TURP.
We said prostate.
We had no idea, and we just said the calves.
And the P in TURP stands for prostate.
Oh, man.
Like a calf injection.
Yeah, or implant, possibly.
That's why you walk with like a little jump in your step, because you have those calf implants.
Immediately, yeah, that's what I did when I moved out here.
You know those don't work like muscles.
Now he can dunk. He can dunk a basketball.
Yeah.
For number 6, cabbage.
We didn't know. We said knee.
Yeah, we didn't really have much on this one either, but we just kind of like went based on the first 2 letters being C and A, thinking maybe it's something cardio, and said heart.
And standing for coronary arterial bypass graft. This is your heart.
Oh, yeah.
Good strategy.
Listen to your heart.
Number 7, craniotomy.
We said the old chrome dome.
We are pretty sure this is skull.
And I have heard this word so many times during my rewatch of Grey's Anatomy. This is your skull or your brain.
Because everybody's brain is always messed up on that show somehow.
And there's patience.
Yeah.
Number 8, laminectomy.
We said spine.
So any of these ectomy ones we knew are like removal, and they always have to be something that
So
you
you
can.
don't want the spine removal, is what you're saying.
Right.
Unless you're a predator.
I could use mine put in.
I know that there's a layer of lamin like underneath your epidermis, underneath your skin. So we said like a skin graft or skin removal, but definitely not 100% on that.
So John, you are right. It is like a small, thin layer, kind of like a laminated sheet of paper, but this small layer is in between your vertebrae, and it is your spine or your vertebrae.
Oh, Jeff.
Wow.
Number 9, Tommy John.
Jeff said that this is what pitchers get, and we said elbow in that case.
This one we are 100% sure we said elbow.
It's elbow. And number 10, ruin why.
Jeff said, I think it's the GI of some sort, so we said intestines, or often said intestines.
The only angle we had on this one was culinary from roux, because of how it was spelled, like thickening or something like that, and we were not really sure, like, if this counts as like a part or an organ or something. We said blood, maybe like a blood transfusion or a specific type of like
switch your
thickening
sauce
process. Yeah.
It's really funny.
Head to McDonald's, get a roux NY.
Jeff's arteries are full of hollandaise.
They are, though. 20%.
Well, I'm sorry if that misled you. I think it's just named after the man who performed it, whose last name was Roux, and this is a gastric bypass, so it is your stomach or your small intestine, so I'll take intestine.
Okay, cool. I do like the idea of your blood just being your body's sauce, though.
It's the new ranch.
Some ancient Greek medicine right there.
Newman's Own.
The swing round scores are in. It looks like Team Two Rings to Rule Them All picking up 25 points, bringing their total to 85, the year of my birth, and Hobbits picking up 35 points, bringing their total to 110 with a nice lead going into round 2.
When you say Newman's Own, is that Paul Newman or Randy Newman, by the way?
Could be either.
Some people got ranch for blood.
Oh, no. I don't like that.
Oh, Lord.
All right, let's get into the
tee it up for you.
second round.
He should have been Audrey, too, and Little Shop.
Feed me, Seymour. Feed me, please.
Somebody stop this man.
It's not even supposed to be here today.
Question number 1 in round 2. So last round we started with my favorite things, and I think we're going to do that again. So my favorite things, part 2, electric boogaloo. What word is used to describe a subset of yoga that is characterized by stringing postures together so that you move from one to another seamlessly using your breath? While no two classes of this style are ever the same, they often contain numerous sun salutations and transitions, specifically from chaturanga to cobra to down dog.
We're locked in with an asterisk. I just got a quick question.
Yeah, I don't have much. I mean, I could tell you if someone rallied off some terms, whether or not it applies to yoga or not, but I would not be able to get this one off the bat.
Well, that is more than I can provide. I am not an avid yogi. I don't own a yoga mat. I don't practice. So I have nothing here. I know that namaste means something. So I'm bringing a lot to
go in namaste.
Yeah, I guess. Sure.
Sure. Yeah. Let's lock in. I mean, it's wrong, but let's lock in.
Yeah. Perfect. The best kind of answer.
So I just want to clarify. Are you looking for hatha or like the vinyasa would be the flow itself, right? But you're looking for hatha.
I would take either answer.
Okay.
That is completely fine.
Okay. So we're in with hatha / vinyasa.
And my official answer is vinyasa / hatha / flow, leaving it very open for people.
Floga,
/ namaste.
The floga.
No, I don't think so.
That's fine.
Floga. You go down to progressive and find some floga.
Flo is your teacher. Yeah, constantly getting you to buy insurance.
Question 2 in the category of tattooing. What style of tattooing was created by Simone Paff and Volker Murchsky? Those are way pronounced wrong. In Würzburg, Germany, and features characteristics of naturalistic, surrealistic, photorealistic motifs with graphics, lettering, and calligraphic elements, and is often only completed in blacks and red.
Reluctant.
I don't know. I also don't know different names for tattoo style.
We've talked about it on the show before, Matt.
I know. I know exactly what this is in reference to. This is not the kind that Neil has on his back.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Unconfirmed.
If you do have a tattoo on your back, what style is it?
If I did, it's probably either tapped or Japanese
Tribal.
or tribal.
Oh.
Interesting.
Or tribal. So we're going to say prison tattoo. 'Cause we don't know.
I believe, Ken, this is very similar sounding to Anne's favorite animal earlier, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Trash panda?
Trash polka.
And this is Trash Polka. Question number 3. Matt, hopefully we're getting more into your realm here. The category is sports geography. In what North American city would you find the highest seated capacity stadium that does not serve as a home field for a Big Ten football team?
Jeff, any ideas?
I think the largest stadium in the NFL, which I think we're thinking NFL, right, would be probably the biggest capacity.
I think so.
I think it's where Washington plays.
Okay.
The FedEx Field, I think, seats like 90.
The Guardians?
Either that
No, not
or
the Guardians. What are they now?
The Commanders.
Commanders.
It's either that or Arrowhead Stadium. Both are like 90
All right,
plus
you call
thousand.
it.
So,
You call it.
we'll go where the Chiefs play, Arrowhead Stadium.
Okay. So I think like the top 3 to 4 are all Big Ten. I know Michigan, the Big House, is number 1. I think Ohio State, and then Penn State. I think those are the top 3, to be honest. But I think after that, it's where the 12th man is generally referred to as in Texas A&M. So I think we can lock in with Texas A&M.
You mean it's not in Seattle?
Co-opted by Seattle. Yeah.
So, Matt, you are right on the money. Number 1 is the Big House, Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor. Number 2 is Beaver Stadium in State College, Pennsylvania. Number 3 is, of which we do not speak in this house, Ohio Stadium in Columbus. And number 3 is Kyle Field at College Station, Texas.
Yeah.
For clarification, the largest seating capacity for a non-NCAA football stadium is MetLife Stadium, the home of the Giants and the Jets, with 82,500, and that's 16. So college football rules, apparently.
Gotta get all those boosters in. They need seats.
All right. So question 4 is a math question, and I'm going to recommend that you get some pen and paper ready.
Boo.
Sorry. Take the number worn by Michael Jordan for the majority of his career with the Chicago Bulls. Add the number worn by Michael Jordan when he returned from retirement. Add the number worn by Michael Jordan for 1 game when his jersey was stolen. Add the number worn by the only person to be inducted into the American Football Hall of Fame and the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. You're going to take that number and divide it by the number worn by Mr. Hockey, who played in an NHL game with his son. Then take that number and subtract it by the maximum number of points that can be scored by a single team in a single overtime in a regular season NFL game. What number are you left with whose factorial is equal to 1?
All right. So what were our numbers, Jeff?
Yeah, we had 23 plus 45 plus 12 plus 1 brings us to 81, divided by 9 for, you said
Gordie Howe?
Gordie Howe. And then we also thought it was 9 for the NFL scoring. That got us to 0. Something in the back of my mind tells me zeros are always weird in math. So 0 factorial could be 1. So
0.
We had all the same things, but we didn't think that 0's factorial was 1. So we just said 1 and figured we were wrong somewhere along the way.
Well, Matt, I'm very sorry that you let your math knowledge surpass your sports knowledge because you were correct all the way up until the end. It is 0.
That's okay.
Yeah, zeros are always weird. They do weird things.
C'est la vie.
All right, let's get number 5.
So this question 5 is submitted by my older child, Willa, and this is about her favorite things.
Thanks, Willa.
So about 70% of animals on Earth are classified as nocturnal. Humans, eagles, squirrels, cattle, and many other animals are considered diurnal. And some animals are neither diurnal nor nocturnal. What does it mean if an animal is crepuscular?
We can lock in, Matt.
Yeah. Confidence.
It's like a dawn and dusk sort of deal, right?
Yeah, I think so. They only come out at night, just like Hall & Oates.
The freaks.
So is it dawn and dusk, or is it just dusk?
From dusk
Or
till
just
dawn.
What? So nocturnal is would be from dusk till dawn, right?
Yeah.
So only those
All right.
twilight hours, I would think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're right. It's just like they're most active during twilight hours, dusk and dawn.
And that's correct. They are most active during dusk and dawn, right during twilight hours. So I'll let y'all determine
We're good.
who's correct on
We're
that.
good.
Yeah, I think we give points all around, and as everyone is sparkling in the sun like the vampires of Twilight. Looks like 20 points for 2 rings to rule them all, bringing them to 115, but creating some separation are the hobbits with plus 40, bringing them to 150.
Question number 6. Your category is 6 degrees of Donald Trump. What actor who died following a heart attack in 2012 was married to Omarosa, a woman who gained notoriety on season 1 of The Apprentice, but can also be seen as a bouncer in A Night at the Roxbury, heard as a voice actor in Racing Stripes, Dinotopia, and Brother Bear, but is most notably known for his repeated line in another film, "I tried to take it back, but it was too late."
We're going to tap out, so go ahead and talk, because we have no idea on this one.
So this guy, he played the main character in The Green Mile, but his name is kind of escaping me. He's
Michael Clark Duncan?
Yeah, Michael Clark Duncan. Yeah, that's right.
That's a line from that movie?
Yeah. It's at the
Michael
very
Clark
end where
Duncan
he
was married to Omarosa? That's the real revelation here.
I know, right?
All right. Well, I guess that's what we're locking in with.
I wouldn't have in a million years said Michael Clark Duncan, but we said nothing instead, so.
I don't know what's more surprising, that Michael Clark Duncan is in Dinotopia or that he was married to Omarosa, but it is Michael Clark Duncan.
Oh, that's a great poll. That makes total sense. As soon as they say that, I see him as John Coffey in that movie.
Neil, did you know that one?
I did, yeah, and mostly because of his great work helping Tom Hanks with his urinary infection.
I helped Jeff in a similar way earlier today.
Did you? Yeah, I walked in and I just saw you like holding near
It was a medical thing.
and then there was
Neil.
like sparks and,
It was medical.
it was medical.
Is that from Dinotopia? I never saw it.
Question 7, category. Sorry, yet again, more of my favorite things. I'm going to milk this for as long as I can. In the TV show Friends, Chandler's short-lived goldfish-killing roommate, Eddie, reveals that he broke up with his girlfriend because she didn't know the capital of Cambodia. What I want to know is, what is the actual capital of Cambodia? And for a bonus 5 points, what did Eddie's ex-girlfriend think was the capital? An Oscar winner whose name later appeared in the credits as a guest star on the show.
Okay, we are locked in with our main answer, and we're not going to really try for the side answer on this one because we don't know.
Okay. John, you were saying you think you knew the capital of
Yeah, I
Cambodia?
mean, I think that that Kuala Lumpur is the capital of Cambodia, but I don't know for sure. And for the bonus, we say something, I don't know, something about a koala. It
Yeah.
sounds similar.
Ken and I discussed this, and I thought I knew it. I think it's like a 2-name something. And when I said it, Ken said, "Yeah, it sounds good." Phnom Phem or Penom Phem or something. I've only ever seen it written. I've never heard it pronounced.
So, Jeff, you are correct. Phnom Penh is the capital of Cambodia, and Kuala Lumpur, capital of Malaysia. But me milking this because she thought the capital of Cambodia was Phnom Penh.
Okay.
That's really bad.
That's a bad joke. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Question number 8 in the category of music. Jeffrey Mayhem Thompson, Aaron Hulk, and Nathan Bray were all murdered by Nathan Gale at Alrosa Villa nightclub in Columbus, Ohio. What musician was the original target of Nathan Gale and was pronounced dead at the scene?
You think you remember it being that one?
We'll lock in, I think.
There's a couple other famous ones I could think of, but they weren't in Ohio.
Is this potentially Dimebag Darrell?
I don't know. I've got nothing on this one.
You had nothing on this one?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that guy was murdered. And those sound like similar names in the sense of their stage names.
That's fine with me. Yeah.
We're going to lock in with the front man of, I believe, Pantera, Dimebag Darrell.
Guitarist.
Yeah. Okay.
We too said Dimebag Darrell because I do believe he was killed at a show. So we said Dimebag as well.
And Dimebag Darrell buried in a Kiss casket that was donated by Gene Simmons and buried with Eddie Van Halen's Bumblebee guitar. This is Dimebag Darrell Abbott.
Wow.
Class all the way down.
Yeah, right.
Question number 9 in the category of presidents. When I first joined Academic Quiz Bowl in high school and started going to live team trivia events at restaurants, I found out very quickly that I needed a way to remember all of the presidents in order. So I turned to the Animaniacs and a Jonathan Colton song. What president is described by these two songs as young and fierce, the man without a chin, and someone who repealed the Missouri Compromise? U.S. News and World Report had worse things to say, calling him Doughface and listing him in their series of the worst presidents ever.
All right, we are locked in here for a really silly reason.
So we were just talking, between Taft and Pierce.
Pierce rhymes with fierce.
Taft
Maybe
had a couple chins.
Ambrose Bierce.
He did, yeah. I don't think he was born yet.
Bierce.
Repeal got compromised.
So I believe it's Franklin Pierce.
Pierce, yeah. You want to just go with that since it rhymes with young and fierce, and I imagine more presidents than Taft have been somewhat large.
We can lock in with Franklin Pierce.
We too said Pierce because it rhymes with fierce. We were right in the Pierce Buchanan area for the Missouri Compromise thing, and Pierce made the most sense.
And Yakko, Wacko, and Dot rhymed Franklin Pierce with young and fierce. And question number 10 in the category sports history. Probably more important than any history I ever learned in school is the MLB history taught to me by my dad, who is an amazing sports broadcaster and is someone who I will reference every time I am on the show. This question has nothing to do with my dad, but I feel inclined to ask a question that he has taught me every time. In 1936, the first 5 men were inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. What member of the first class received 222 votes, the most of any candidate, earning election with 98.23% of the vote?
All right. So this is the inaugural class, having a bunch of old baseballers. I think
Joe DiMaggio. Babe Ruth, obviously. Yeah.
Joe was still playing at the time.
Okay.
Babe Ruth was not popular with the baseball writers because he was a drinker and a smoker.
He was cool. Got it.
He was too cool. Also, yeah, I think this might be Ty Cobb. Torn between him and potentially Honus Wagner. Very popular old baseball players, but I think I'm good with Ty Cobb. He seemed like the All-American guy.
All right, you guys are going with Ty, and we're going with Cy.
Cy Young.
So Walter Johnson got 198 votes. Christine Mathewson got 205. Babe Ruth and Honus Wagner both got 215 votes apiece, and Ty Cobb
had
98% of the vote.
Very nice.
Popular guy.
It looks like 2 rings to rule them all, picking up what seems to be 40 more points, bringing their total to 155 to end regulation. But Hobbits picking up 30 more points, bringing their total to 180 going into the final round. So what are those final round categories, Ann?
All right, your final round categories are Tik Tok, Make It Pop, Tonight I'm a Fight, Till We See the Sunlight, and Wake Up in the Morning Feeling Like P. Diddy.
Oh, we got to go in. Let's just go.
If these aren't all about Kesha,
I don't know.
There's no point.
We'll just go in. We've had pretty good record this game. We're just going in.
All right.
I mean, I guess we gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an avid TikToker myself, so.
All right. The wagers are in. Let's have the questions.
All right, number one in the category TikTok. I hope you brushed up on your TikTok knowledge prior to appearing on today's episode. What content creator has a master's degree in science but spends his days online explaining where candle wax goes and strongly encouraging you to read his novel, A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor? And category number two, Make It Pop. Melissa Vivian Jefferson released an album on July 15th, 2022, entitled Special. The seventh track on this album is entitled Break Up Twice and features sampling from a singer-songwriter who holds the record for most Grammys by a female rapper. Who is Melissa Vivian Jefferson, and who is the very educated woman who is sampled in her song Break Up Twice? Number three, Tonight I'm a Fight. Who is the only actor to appear in Fight Club that was allowed to break the sixth rule of Fight Club, which is stated as the fights are bare knuckle, no shirt, no shoes, no weapons? And number four, Till We See the Sunlight. Born in 1930 in Rome, Italy, what famous American is attributed with the following quote? I am alone now, truly alone, and absolutely isolated from any known life. I am it. If a count were taken, the score would be 3 billion plus 2 over on the other side of the moon, and 1 plus God knows what on this side. And number five, Wake Up in the Morning Feeling Like P. Diddy. Sean Combs plays a small role in the life-altering and amazing movie Draft Day. Spoiler alert. Who plays the character that goes first in the NFL draft in the movie Draft Day?
All right, those are the questions. We'll be right back with our answers. All the answers are now locked in. Let's have the questions one more time, and we'll give our best answers.
All right, question number one in the category of TikTok. I hope you brushed up on your TikTok knowledge. What content creator has a master's degree in science but spends his days online explaining where candle wax goes and strongly encouraging you to read his novel, A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor?
I thought this sounded like some John Green, but Jeff kindly reminded me that this was who?
His brother, Hank Green.
They're like the same guy.
Same
guy.
Similar.
What did you guys say?
We wagered 30 on all these too, and we also said Hank Green.
The lover of pelicans himself is Hank Green. Category number two, Make It Pop. Melissa Vivian Jefferson released an album on July 15th, 2022, entitled Special. The seventh track on this album is entitled Break Up Twice, features sampling from a singer-songwriter who holds the record for most Grammys by a female rapper. Who is Melissa Vivian Jefferson and the very educated woman who is sampled in her song Break Up Twice?
We got to Lizzo for the original artist, and the other one we weren't sure on. I think we were picking up on a clue, but we couldn't quite paste it together, so we just said Missy Elliott, but I think we're wrong.
Okay, so for this one, we both were pretty sure it was Lizzo, so we said that, and then we said Lauryn Hill for the bonus, which we're somewhat sure on, but yeah.
Melissa Vivian Jefferson is also known as Lizzo, and a very small reference to the miseducation of Lauryn Hill. This is Lauryn Hill.
All right, so you're creeping up on us.
Your third round, Tonight I'm a Fight. Who is the only actor to appear in Fight Club that was allowed to break the sixth rule of Fight Club, which is stated as the fights are bare knuckle, no shirt, no shoes, no weapons?
Gotta say, I think it might be Meatloaf.
He would do anything for Fight Club, but he wouldn't appear without his shirt on. Pretty sure it's Meatloaf.
Yep, because Bob has... and his fat suit was not about would have like exposed like the suit, and there was no way for them to do that in costuming and makeup. So
his name was Robert Paulson.
Mm-hmm.
Number four, Till We See the Sunlight. Born in 1930 in Rome, Italy, what famous American is attributed with the following quote? I am alone now, truly alone, and absolutely isolated from any known life. I am it. If a count were taken, the score would be 3 billion plus 2 over on the other side of the moon, and 1 plus God knows what on this side.
All right, we considered those numbers, and we feel like this is about the first mission that made it to the moon, and we said that would be Michael Collins in the orbiter.
Crap.
That's the Michael you were dancing around the entire time.
Yeah. So I know this guy has been mentioned a couple of times on the show, and I knew it was Michael something, because I was pretty sure that John Glenn and Neil Armstrong were the two that were on the moon at the time, but we said Buzz Aldrin. So.
And this is from Apollo 11, Michael Collins.
If you're having trouble remembering his last name, just remember as he was in the orbiter, the machinery was clunky and it went doo 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 doo.
I like that. That's good. I will use that.
Sipping on a Tom Collins.
And he was sipping on a Tom Collins.
He was actually offered to do some moonwalks on future missions and said, no thanks, I liked what I did.
I'm good.
And your final question of the final round, wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. Sean Combs plays a small role in the life-altering and amazing movie Draft Day. Spoiler alert, who plays the character that goes first in the NFL draft in the movie Draft Day?
We took a stab in the darkness, and Jeff said, I think Black Panther was in this movie, so he said Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, I think if I had the first pick in the NFL draft, I too would select Black Panther. I would say
that's a good choice.
Yeah, Chadwick Boseman.
And this is Chadwick Boseman.
Just gotta make sure his gloves don't have the stickum on there, or that the nails are retracted, right?
Yeah, you'd have to have a good equipment guy. You'd be running through balls quite a bit.
I believe the post-it note Kevin Costner has says Vontae Mack, no matter what. He was a linebacker. But after all is said and done here, it was a nail-biter for the most part in the final round. Both teams picking up 90 points, but it looks like 2 rings to rule them all. Going to end with 245, a very respectable score. But today's cream of the crop, Hobbits. Well, now it sounds a little bit more Alan Rickman because I didn't try as hard. Hobbits with 270 points.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
They shall pass.
We would have picked up.
Great job, everyone.
90, right? I'm sorry.
That was a great game. I know you wrote it on the last minute for us.
Sorry.
And
thank you,
did
Ann.
a great job assembling those questions for us. So we want to thank you, Ann. Any last comments for us today?
Oh, no, just thank you so much for having me. I'm always happy to help whenever I can, even if it means a little bit of a math mishap in the middle of the game.
Which no one would ever know about.
No one will know.
They don't know about it.
It's been edited out. John, thank you for joining us. You were a fierce competitor. Any final words for you?
No, thanks for having me, guys. Shout out to my girlfriend, Kate, for, putting up with my trivia obsession over the last couple of years. And hopefully next time I'm on, we can do a little bit better. Or I also have some games written for next time.
Well, we knew John was smart. Now that he shouted out his girlfriend, we know that he's wise as well.
That's all.
Well, that will be it for today's show. For our guests over Zencaster, Ann, John, and kind of Matt, I guess. Those in the studio, Jeff, Neal, and myself. That was Triviality.
I'd watch an animated Raccoon Vampire series.
Speaking of, scrappy little animals, I heard a trivia fact the other day that I can't get out of my head. And that's that spies used to dead drop information in the hollowed out bodies of rats that were velcroed up.
Yep.
And in order to not get animals to carry the dead rats away, they'd soak them in hot sauce. True story.